Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Now it is time to welcome May, and if you aren't ready, then you better get ready because there's a lot of releases. If you're a comic book fan, then there's a lot of stuff coming our way this month. So in this video, as I normally do, I'm gonna go through all the releases, my top 10, but also I'm going to mention some other stuff, you know, some highlights and some important things that need to also be considered. Before we get into my top 10 list, I want to mention some of those releases that were supposed to come out last month or in previous months, but haven't been released due to the pandemic and the delays and all of that. But they are supposed to come out this month. Of course, all the dates are always subject to change. Now, we have toys of He-Man and Masters of the Universe coming out on the 4th, so it's coming out supposedly this week. This has been delayed since November, so hopefully we get it this week. Shadow Man by Andy Diggle Deluxe Edition also coming out on the 4th. It was supposed to come out in March. The all-new Wolverine by Tom Taylor Omnibus that was supposed to come out last month was now delayed until this week, so this week pay attention to that. There are two different covers. Monsters by Barry Windsor Smith, the artist signed edition. The regular edition came out last month, but if you're looking for the signed edition, it's coming out this week. Marvel Masterworks, The Mighty Thor Volume 20 Direct Market. The regular version came out last week. It's coming out on the 11th. Now, Criminal by Ed Brubaker Deluxe Edition Volume 2. This is a reprint. The Volume 1 came out last month. It's coming out on the 11th. Now, Dynamite Entertainment has been having some problems with releases since last year. And hopefully this month we get some of these releases. They have been delayed for quite some time. The Art of Luis Garcia, according to this, coming out on the 11th. Kirby Genesis Definitive Edition also coming out on the 11th. These two were supposed to come out on February, so hopefully we get it this month. The Art of Vampirella Dynamite Years Volume 2 is now been delayed till the 25th of this month. It's been delayed since March. And now from Hermes Press, you get the Phantom Complete Dailies Volume 22 was supposed to come out in March. Supposedly it's coming out at the end of this month on the 25th. Now, Superman by Grant Morrison Omnibus is getting a second batch on the 25th of this month. This is a corrected batch because the first one has some errors and supposedly they're going to be corrected. Now, you need to keep an eye on this one. Usagi Yojimbo Volume 9 Limited Edition hardcover. This came out last month. However, there were only just a few copies available for different stores, different distributors. Now we're getting a second batch, and I'm not sure if this is going to be the last batch, but they haven't given us a date. It's to be announced, but supposedly it's coming out this month. Also, if you're interested on PSR books, there was a lot of stuff that was supposed to come out last month, hardcovers and slipcovers, also softies, but a lot of stuff was pushed to this month. They don't have a date yet, but if you're interested on those, keep an eye on them. You got the Golden Age Classics 5 comics, the Classic Sci-Fi Comics Volume 2. You got Conan, Monarch of Monster Isle Volume 2. And also you get the Silver Age Classic Mystery Unexplored Worlds Volume 1. Alright, now it is time to get into the list. Number 1, Complete Curvy War and Romance Omnibus. It's coming out on the 4th, so it's coming out this week. $74.99, that's the price. If you're a fan of Kirby, then definitely this is a must. Now, after the Golden Age of Comics, so between the Golden Age and the Silver Age of Comics, there was a time after World War II where a lot of people were no longer interested in superhero stories. So during this time, there was, pretty much a genre, which was the romance genre, but also there was the war genre that people were more interested in comics. And Kirby was an artist that was really involved in that, and Stan Lee was also writing a lot of stuff. So this collects that period. So if you love history, you love this art, you love Kirby stuff, amazing art during this time, then definitely this is something you need to pay attention to. Again, it's coming out this week. There are two different covers. Number 2, Cold the Savage, the original Marvel Years Omnibus. This is coming out on the 4th, so it's coming out this week. There are two different covers. As you can see, you get the Mark Brooks cover, which is the regular version. I like that cover for sure. Then you also get the Direct Market, which is the original cover by Willen. But the price is $74.99. I think is good. This is going to go alongside the Conan collection very well. All black and white from these magazines from this time during the 70s. The King of Atlantis. And it was pretty much alongside with Conan in the stories, although he was prior to Conan by by like 1,000 years or something like that. Fantastic time during and fantastic art. You get writers like Roy Thomas, Chuck Dixon, Dope Monk, Jerry Arcudi, Jerry Conway, Stephen Englehart, but also you get art by E.R. Cruz, Val Simics, John Volton, Marie Severine, Jeff Isherwood, Sal Buscema, Mike Plug, and Howard Chaykin, and so many others. Fantastic time, Phenomenal art. Very, I would say, mature for the times. We're in the 70s. But if you're into Conan, Red Sonja, then Cole is definitely up there. Number 3, Red Sonja, the complete Gail Simone omnibus oversized hardcover sign edition, coming out on the 4th. So it's coming out this week. The price is $56.25. This is a reprint. The regular version is available, so you can find it in, like, I would say, through Amazon and some other places. I'm not sure if it's going to have the same cover. It doesn't really show. A lot of people were fans of the first cover, so hopefully they use the cover they use here for the promotion. Who knows? I love what Gail Simone did with Red Sonja. I think she wrote the character in a very strong way, and definitely it's a book that needs attention. You need to read it at some point. You know, there are going to be fans of that. There are going to be people that are not going to like it as much, but definitely it's bloody, it's good. Number 4, Benonibus Volume 1 hardcover reprint. This is one that a lot of people are excited for. The 2 different versions, the regular and the direct market, they're coming out in separate dates. The regular version is coming out on the 4th, so you need to keep an eye open for that. It's just coming out this week. But if you're looking into the direct market cover with the Carnage turning Venom apart, that one is coming out on the 18th. It's kind of interesting that they're doing it that way. They have done that with Marvel Masterworks, but it seems that they're gonna try to do that now with the covers, which is kind of strange because in my opinion, I would assume that the direct market should go on pre-order first. The good thing about this book is not just only that it includes a lot of the early Venom stuff, all the stuff when he goes solo, but also you get, you know, a lot of great talent here. You get in the writing part, you get David Michelinie, Carl Potts, you get Len Kaminsky, Dan Fingeroth, Ann Nunzetti, Bruce Jones, Peter David, Terry Cavanagh, Howard Mackie. So you get Larry Hama. So you get so many great writers. And in the art, you got Mark Bagley, in my opinion, who is actually, I would say, the center of everything here. But you also got Ron Lim, Tom Lyle, Scott McDaniel, Kevin Hopwood, Todd Smith, Kelly Jones, Buck McLeod, Jill Craig. So, and you get so many great artists here involved in the process of this book. And definitely, it's one that really did so well last year. I think it was last year or year before. So now that it's being reprinted, I know it's going to do well as well. Number 5, Annihilation Conquest Omnibus hardcover. This is one that I'm telling you is going to do really well. Annihilation went out on pre-order a few months back and it sold out right away. And also there was a second batch and it did really good too. So if you have that one, but you missed this one, then definitely this is a continuation of it and you need to really jump on it right away because in my opinion, it's going to sell out quick. Now, of course, in the writers, we have Dan Abnett and there's other writers, but Dan is at the center. And the art, we have Sean Chen and other artists. He collects a lot of stuff from the Annihilation War and the Nova Corps. I love what Dan Abnett has done as a writer for all these cosmic adventures. I think it's one of the best storylines that we're going to find from Marvel in recent years. It's all the stuff that they did there. I definitely prefer the regular cover over the direct market, the Langley cover, but in the end, it's just a matter of choice. It's coming out on the 11th, so keep an eye open. Number 6, Incredible Hulk by Peter David Omnibus Volume 3. And I'm telling you, this is one that I've been highly anticipating. I really love what Peter David has done with Hulk over the years. This run is fantastic in my opinion. I do have the Volume 2. I don't have, unfortunately, Volume 1. But Volume 2 was all the stuff from Dale Keown. Of course, now we're going to see Gary Frank on Volume 3. And I love what Gary Frank did. I love his art. I think I can compare it as it's really good, as close as Dale Keown. You're going to enjoy this one. Definitely, there's a lot of great stories. Peter David understood the character, but he changed the character in so many different ways, pushed the character to be very different and more likable in so many ways. So here we have, of course, you know, not only Peter David, there's other writers involved, but in the art, again, not only we got Gary Frank, you also got John Dursema, Paul Pelletier, Roger Cruz, Derek Robertson, Leon Sharp, Terry Dodson, and so many others, George Perez. So you need to pay attention to this one. In my opinion, it's going to do well. Hopefully we get a reprint of Volume 1 soon. Number 7, Kassar the Savage Omnibus hardcover. This is coming out on the 18th. The price is $74.99. And I'm telling you, you need to pay attention to this one. If you're really a big fan of the Bronze Age stuff, if you really love the stuff that was done during that time, a lot of the stories, kind of like into the Tarzan type, because he's technically, Kassar is kind of like a blonde Tarzan. But the stuff that he does in the Savage Land is good. His companion Sabu, and also you get the Shayna the She-Devil. So there are really great stories there. And the writers, you have Bruce Jones, Mike Carlin, and there are others. And in the art, you got Brent Anderson, Gil Kane, Armando Hill, Val Merrick, Ron Franz, Mike Hernandez, Paul Neary, and many more. Phenomenal story. So it collects everything, I think, from issue 1 to issue 34 of the pretty much the first run. And I love it. And there, of course, there are 2 different covers. I like the regular cover, the first issue. I think that's the best in my opinion. But you can also go with the direct market, the Anderson Action variant, which is good. But in my opinion, go for the regular because that's the best cover. Number 8, Aliens, the Original Years Omnibus Volume 1. This is coming out on the 19th. The price is $74.99. There's 2 different versions. There's a Nelson cover, which is the direct market. That's the classic cover. And then you get the new land cover for the regular version. Now, this is during the 90s. Dark Horse Comics was producing a lot of comics for Aliens. And there were other publishers in the UK that were trying new things. Fantastic time, definitely, if you were a fan of that. Of course, now Marvel has taken the license. So they are pretty much reprinting a lot of these things that were actually produced as omnibuses and softcover omnibuses from Dark Horse Comics, and now on the Marvel Omnibus format, which is larger and is better. Of course, we're not only getting stuff for Aliens, we're also getting stuff for Predator, Terminator, all that stuff that now they're taking care of, and I'm amazed by it, and definitely Marvel hasn't wasted any time in putting this out there. Number 9, Men Think Omnibus hardcover, coming out on the 25th. The price is $74.99. Again, we get 2 different covers, the regular cover and also the direct market cover. Now, I'm telling you, Marvel is on fire this month. They have so many omnibuses, it's unreal. A lot of stuff from the Bronze Age, which is amazing. I really love when Marvel really goes all out, and they also producing all these different collections. It's just amazing what Marvel is doing. Definitely they know where the money's at and they're going after it. Now, between the 2 different covers, I don't know, it's hard to tell because the original cover, in this case the Brunner cover, which is the direct market version, is really good. I love that one. But Olivetti's art is amazing as well. So in the end, it's just a matter of what do you prefer. You prefer all classic stuff, or you prefer the new, very kind of dark but really gets in the mood stuff. So it's up to you. Now, for many people that are unfamiliar with the character, they always think of Man-Thing as a copy of the Swamp Thing, and ultimately, if we come historically, definitely Man-Thing was first. He was the one that came out in 1971, and then Swamp Thing came out in 1972. So technically one followed the other. And some people can argue that the writer created something prior to it. Even the writers that say, well, I created before this, but it didn't get the chance to print it. Regardless, it doesn't really matter who was the first. In the end, I think these characters they have similarities, but also they have differences. And Man-Thing definitely is so Marvel. And finally, number 10, Superman by Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason Omnibus. This is coming out on the 25th. Now, if you already have the Super Sons Omnibus, then definitely this is a great companion. Fantastic stuff from the DC Rebirth. Tomasi did a terrific job with the stories. They're very fun, very Superman, and in many ways, I do prefer the version of Superman on the DC Rebirth that I do on the New 52. I feel that it's a much better, the stories are better, more cohesive. I think in many ways very reminiscent of the Bronze Age of Superman. And it's good. I like it. It's fun. The art is good. And definitely there's a lot of stories here that are contained. Some stuff some people may consider as double dipping with the Super Sons. But definitely all together in this omnibus, it's a great companion. I think you need to have both in the collection. All right, but before I go, I want to share with you some honorable mentions. Books that didn't make the cut to the top 10. But in my opinion, they deserve a lot of attention. We are getting on the 4th this week, World of Tomorrow's limited edition hardcover, $56.25. Now, this book contains the story of Tomorrow's Publishing that came out in the 90s after the death of Jack Kirby. And since then, they've been doing a lot of books and magazines that really covered the history of comics, and they are celebrating the 25th anniversary, although they have now 27 years, but they were unable to have this book published because of the pandemic last year. On the 11th, we are getting Art of Samurai Showdown hardcover, published by Dark Horse Comics, but of course the art based on the video game by SNK. So if you're really a fan of the newest entry in the franchise, and this is a fantastic book. I love the price, $27.99. The art is fantastic in the game. I love the game, so definitely this is one that needs to be considered. Now, if you're a fan of the Disney Masters collection published by Fantagraphics, there are 2 books coming out this month. Volume 16 with the art of Luciano Botaro, the stories of Donald Duck Jumping Jupiter hardcover is coming out on the 11th. Volume 17 is coming out on the 25th of this month, the art of Romano Scarpa, and the story is Mickey Mouse, the Man from Alcatraz hardcover. I really love what Fantagraphics is doing with the Disney Masters collection. Phenomenal stuff. On the 11th, also we get the Dynamite art of John Cassidy. If you're a big fan of John Cassidy, then definitely you're going to love his art. You love the covers that he has done for Dynamite Entertainment. The price is $29.99. Also on the 11th, you get Empower Omnibus Volume 2 trade paperback. Although I normally don't recommend trade paperbacks here, I love Empower, and this is a continuation, and hopefully one day we can get a hardcover collection for the entire Empower saga. We also getting Ether Library Edition hardcover written by Matt Kindt and published by Dark Horse Comics. Definitely this is another one that a lot of people are excited for. I haven't really read this one, but I heard a lot of good things. The price is $41.99, which is not bad. Now, if you're a fan of The Goon, Bunch of Old Crap Omnibus Volume 5 trade paperback is coming out on the 11th. The last stuff that was published or produced by Dark Horse Comics. So I'm telling you, pay attention to that. Hopefully one day we can get a hardcover collection. Also on the 11th, we're getting the Hellboy and the BPRD 1952-1954 hardcover. This is another library edition. Love the stuff from Mike Mignola and Scott Alley. The art is good, Duncan Fegredo, and there's other artists as well. If you're a fan of the Hellboy, then definitely this is something that you need to add to your collection. Now, for fans of the Marvel Masterworks, The Incredible Hulk Volume 15 is coming out on the 11th. Phenomenal time. In the writing, we have Roger Stern, John Byrne, Steve Grant, and Doug Monk. And in the art, you have the phenomenal art, in my opinion, the most iconic Hulk art of Sal Buscema, Carmine Infantino, and Steve Ditko. Also on the 11th, you get in Parker, the Richard Stark's Last Call Martini edition. This is a classic. If you love Darwin Cook stuff, then definitely this is a good one. Not only you get the art of Darwin Cook, you also get the art of Sean Phillips, but in the writing you got Richard Stark and also Ed Brubaker. Phenomenal stuff. Another Marvel Masterworks coming out this month on the 18th is Brother Voodoo Volume 1. It is good because what happened with Strange Tales in the 70s kind of changed the stories. Really good stuff. I love that this collections continue to pop up. I love the Marvel Masterworks has been in production for a long time, and the fact that they continue with this stories from the 70s, from the Bronze Age, and prior to that is always good to see. Also on the 18th, we're getting the Prince Valiant Volume 23 hardcover, published by Fantagraphics. If you love the Prince Valiant comic strip, then definitely you're going to love this book. And the fact that they are going as far as now Volume 23, and I know Volume 24 is coming out at the end of this year, it's good. So definitely this is something that you need to pay attention to. Shazam, The World Mightiest Mortal Volume 3 hardcover. This is the stuff from the 70s, phenomenal stuff. Volume 1, Volume 2, they're really good. So definitely this is a continuation with, of course, the writing of Nelson Bridwell and the art of Don Newton. Phenomenal stuff. The price is $32.49. On the 25th, we get in the Quorum hardcover by Jonathan Hickman. I'm telling you, this is a very interesting, very intriguing book. Now, this includes the entire collection, the 8 issues of this run. However, issue number 8 hasn't come out on pretty much on sale. It's not coming out till June. So this is going to collect everything, including that issue that hasn't come out yet. So you are able to read the whole story. I'm telling you, the Quorum is very interesting, very intriguing. I have read pretty much the run up to this point. It is very mature, but the art is phenomenal by Mike Huddleston. And the story is, it's Jonathan Hickman stuff, which is kind of intriguing. There's a lot of dark comedy, black comedy there. Also on the 25th, we get in Gorgo Attacks hardcover and softcover book. During the 60s, there was a big infatuation in America with monster stories, particularly because we get a lot of Godzilla movies from Japan, and people were really infatuated with it. So Gorgo Attacks was a response to it in comics, and here you have the work of Joe Gill, Joe Sanat, Vince Scaletta. Phenomenal art of that era, and definitely fantastic story. So if you're into monster stories, then definitely you need to pay attention to this one. Also on the 25th, we're getting Phantom, the complete DC Comics Year Volume 1 hardcover. I'm telling you, this is a great time. Between 1989 and 1990, DC Comics produced Phantom comics, and they were actually written by Peter David. Now, the thing is this, the run was very small, only 13 issues, and this Volume 1 only includes, the first 6 issues, which is kind of... It's a bummer, in my opinion, because they should have just included all in one single package, the whole 13 issues for $50. I think that would be a better price, but they're trying to make money. And this is not really published by DC Comics. This is published by Hermes Press, because they're the ones holding the license of Phantom comics and comic strips. Also on the same date, Hermes Press is releasing Roy Rogers Comics, The Best of John Buscema hardcover. This is pretty much a collection of some of the best art picked up by the son of Roy Rogers, Dusty. And it's really good. I grew up reading a lot of this comics. I love this. A lot of this stuff is from the Silver Age, and perhaps some stuff from the Bronze Age. But here they picked up some of the best storyline, the best stories, and you know, the art of John Buscema is phenomenal. And it's another high recommendation. And finally, I want to mention the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IDW Collection Volume 13 hardcover, coming out on the 25th, $41.99. I love what IDW has been doing with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Phenomenal collections. The books are good. Everything they do here is good. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff coming out this month. Marvel is killing it with the omnibuses. It's going to be heavy on your wallet, but if you really love some stuff, you have to be very choosy, very picky about what you want. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of great stuff. Unfortunately, I cannot include here a lot of epic collections and softcover and trade paperbacks because, you know, because of the limitations of time. But also, there's a lot of good stuff coming your way. But what is your opinion? What do you think about my list? What do you think about the stuff that I shared today? Are you a fan? You're not a fan? Do you think I missed something? Are you going to pick anything up from this list? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are down below. And please consider supporting the channel financially through Patreon. My friends, thanks for watching. God bless. Take care. I will talk to you again. Bye-bye.